Hello and welcome to a brand new Flight Simulator 2020 video. Today it's going to be a little bit of a tutorial-ish, and we're going to be covering the BN2T Islander by BlackBox Simulations, which I did a review and a first look video on recently, so if you haven't seen that, go and check it out and let me know what you think. So first of all, we're just making sure that the door interlock switch is on, which it is. And the next step is we're going to start enabling the battery to then start looking at getting these engines turned on. So first things first, let's get that turned on. And you can hear that the aircraft now is receiving power. What we'll do is we'll just get the lights on here so we're not using this head torch or whatever it is that we're using currently to look around, and we'll get a better view of the aircraft. There we go. Avionics are also coming alive right now as well, which is nice. GPS is enabled, so we can now, if need be, turn the map on, etc. so we can see that, which is pretty handy. Which we will play about with just now. No arrival airport because I haven't set any flight plan. The objective here really is start from cold and dark and take off without using any other checklists or anything. So pretty easy to get this aircraft started. So the external power switch will put up, which I believe actually puts it into battery isolation mode, and that allows us to start the aircraft by itself. Now we're also going to put the propeller feather lever to low idle so that we can start the engines. If you don't do that, you won't have fuel, and you'd need fuel to be able to take off. So the fuel switch pumps are now turned on, which allows fuel to now get towards the engine, and we're going to start the left engine first. You can hear that that is now starting up. It's just going to be a few moments whilst it does its thing. And then once it has done its thing, we will be able to start up the right engine. So it should just be starting in a moment or so. Taking a quick look around the aircraft. Should mention we're at Keflavik in Iceland, and we are going to be departing out to the north once we start heading that direction. So just about now, there we go. That is the engine that's spooling up. And then what we're going to do whilst that's now started, and it's looking pretty good, let's get the other engine started. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so this one is just as simple as switching the ignition on for the right engine. We're going to do that in just a moment. First of all, we're going to play about with the weather radar because, of course, why not? I have tested this out on another flight I did the day prior, and it's actually pretty good. It's actually nice to have like a forward-looking weather radar that you can change and customise for yourself. It's not quite like using Nexrad through the GPSs. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm a big fan of that. And it's like, yeah, you can change the tilt and the zoom and everything as well. So pretty nice. Very big fan of this aircraft so far. Right, let's get the ignition on for engine number 2. And then we will change the starter to the right engine. See that that is about to start also doing its thing. Now we're just going to have a quick look at the dials here. We can see that on the annunciator panel we have the bus bar light because the generator is not on, and we can also see that the right engine oil pressure is low and the N1 etc, or N2 I guess, is low. So now that's starting to spool up. We can see that the TGT is increasing, and that's going to stabilise itself around about, I believe it's about 70. It's kind of hard to see from here right now, but we're looking at about 70. And once that is up there, it's going to kind of roll back slightly. Okay, so we're now started. The engines are on, they're running, no issues so far. And then the next thing to do is enable generator left and right. And once those are done, all of our warning lights are gone. Doing a test of the annunciator panel, and we're good. So at this point, the next couple of steps really are, well, let's get ourselves out of this place, out of this taxi area, and onto the runway. So I think what we'll do is we'll play about this a little bit here, and I don't really think flying with that light would be very fun. Now another thing to look out for when you've got the Islander BN2T, and I believe actually if you have the BN2 as well, you'll get some kind of customization options. Now this is just the standard Islander, so you only get the wing pylons, but in some variants you will be able to get a camera in the SOS or the like rescue stuff that you can stick on the side. So it's pretty cool. There's some nice customization options, and I've really been enjoying this aircraft so far. It is very difficult to fly, I guess is the understatement. You'll see that once we get closer to takeoff. The aircraft doesn't like strong winds very much, so yeah, you've got to be kind of careful wherever you're flying from. Obviously I never checked the weather here before I flew, or before I started taking off, so you'll see how that goes anyway in a moment or so anyway, so I'm not going to try and jump the gun. We'll put the propeller levers fully forward here, just to make sure that they're no longer sitting in low idle. And then we are pretty much good to go. So we'll just request some clearance, and then once we've done that, we can start taxiing our way to the runway. Now, I probably could have chosen a closer one.
Keflavik ground Monin Mike Oscar November Alpha November 10 with uniform request taxi for takeoff north departure.
Monin Mike Oscar November Alpha November 10 taxi 2 and hold short of runway 28 using taxiway November 11 November for cross runway 19 November for November 3 November 2. Contact tower on 126.2 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 28 via taxiway November 11 November 4 cross runway 19 November 4 November 3 November 2 Monin Mike Oscar November Alpha November 10.
That's a lot of numbers. Okay, so we're ready to go. At this point we're all set up. We just need to basically get moving. Now we could use pushback here, but the aircraft also does have a reverse thrust, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to use that and get myself out of this parking bay. You can see I've got the taxi ribbon on, so please don't judge me too hard. But I'll see you on the runway. Okay, welcome to the runway. Well, holding short of the runway. We're just waiting for that aircraft to go off the runway. We've now been given our clearance, so let's get ourselves in the air. Okay, I would like to point out, before you watch, try not to judge too much, please. Of course, again, I have the taxi ribbons on. If anybody's seen any of my videos before when I'm doing taxiing, etc., like, I don't know where I'm going on the runway, or not the runway, but the taxiways, and I need a little bit of help with it until I learn it. So I'm just going to keep using it. So if you don't like it, well, I'm sorry. But not a huge issue, really. Let's be honest. It's, you know, just a little bit of a guide, and it helps if you're not so confident with taxiing around. And some airports can be quite complicated. This one I probably could have avoided it. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. Again, I'm just going to say here, this takeoff is not the best takeoff in the world. You'll see in a moment. But look, it's very windy here, and if you don't believe me that it's windy here, just watch the attitude indicator in the center, okay? It's gonna show some pretty weird movements, but you'll be able to tell that the wind is pretty strong in just a moment. Also, pretty much right now, because you can see the aircraft is yawing to the left pretty dramatically. This is full right rudder at this stage, and it's not doing anything. The aircraft's basically rotating to the right. So I thought, I better not do that, because I'll end up striking the propeller off the ground. We're in the air. Now watch what it does. And it's going all the way to the right. All the way there. So clearly the wind was very strong. It probably could have done a takeoff from another runway, and that would have been better. But we didn't. That's fine. Anyway, so that's the end of the video. Hopefully this has helped if anybody's been struggling to get the aircraft started up or doesn't know how to use it. It took me a little bit to learn it, but it is pretty straightforward. So if you liked it, leave a like, leave me a comment, let me know how you find it. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, whatever that may be as well.